How's it going, everyone? Got a lot to go over today in regards to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game updates. Most notably, Final Fantasy 16 producer Naoki Yoshida did a bunch of interviews with a variety of different outlets, and I want to thank Gamatsu for a rundown on some of the key information. I'll go over that and also give you guys my opinions on the game. Bright Memory Infinite is definitely a game that you should have on your radar. It will be coming to PlayStation 5 in 2022. That game looks very good, already available on PC, but I think it'll be a game right up your guys' alley. And Scathe is another game that I think would be right up your guys' alley, but we'll get to those games in a little bit. Final Fantasy 16 probably a little bit more notable, and it's a game that a lot of people are incredibly excited for. Not gonna lie, when I saw the trailer get revealed and we got hit with summer 2023 at the end, I was a little bit disappointed. I was just hoping, hey, maybe early 23, maybe a sliver of hope it would be a 2022 game. But hey, them's the breaks. I've had way, more arduous experiences waiting for a Final Fantasy game, so FF16 getting revealed in 2020 and having a 2023 release, 3 years is nothing in the world of Final Fantasy fans in terms of waiting for a game. If we were able to wait for Versus 13 or 15, we can wait a little bit for 16, and Naoki Yoshida spoke quite a bit to a lot of different outlets, and again, Gamatsu, thanks to them. We'll leave a link to their post in the description box below. With key information, protagonist Clive has an arsenal of powerful attacks and abilities based off traditional Final Fantasy summons, which can be cycled through in real time, enabling powerful combination attacks. After Clive claims a summon's power, he will be able to unlock its abilities in an ability tree through points earned in battle. There will be times where the player controls these in real time, battling others. Each battle is unique. One may be reminiscent of a 3D shooter, while another may be more like a pro wrestling match, while a third may transform the entire arena into a battlefield. Each will have slight differences in user interface as well. That's probably one of the elements of the game that I am excited for the most. Clive will be accompanied by one or more companions for most of his journey who will participate in the battle, as well as banter with Clive. These party members will be AI controlled. Some other notes that I do want to go as far as the world itself. The game uses an independent area-based game design that can give players a better feel of a truly global scale. It's not a full-blown open world game. You'll have these various areas that you're gonna go to. They're gonna be sizable. However, it's not a full-blown open world that you can go anywhere at any time. That's fine. I don't think every game needs to be this massively scaled open world. I feel like that has honestly harmed some game where they're trying to go bigger and bigger and put more depth into these worlds, and sometimes, a different approach is going to do the game better, and in the case of Final Fantasy 16, I like the approach that they're going with. We'll see if it pans out, but I'm liking what I'm seeing thus far. Creative Business Unit 3 specifically chose a medieval fantasy style theme for Final Fantasy 16 because much of its core members, including Yoshida, simply just enjoyed that style the most. The game will be a complete experience at launch, and there are currently no plans for other tertiary content. That's exciting to me because Final Fantasy 15, man, I know a lot of people enjoyed Final Fantasy 15, but if you wanted to get everything out of that game, you had the Kingsglaive movie, you had the anime, you had all the DLC that rolled out, you had the Royal Edition. There was a lot that came with FF15 if you really wanted to get the most out of the game. Hopefully when FF16 comes out, right away, day one, it'll be a complete experience where you can get into it, you can enjoy the story start to finish, and you can have a complete experience. If they want to roll out DLC, if they want to extend the content a little bit more, fine. But I want a complete experience day one. Also, another interesting note, players will follow the life of Clive through 3 stages: his teens, his 20s, and his 30s. FF16 is currently fully playable from start to finish, we already knew that. And a third trailer is planned for release this fall, which will concentrate more on the world lore and storyline. And that seems to make sense because a lot of the trailers and gameplay we've seen thus far has focused on, well, the gameplay. So a little bit more depth on the narrative to it. I don't want everything spoiled to me. Obviously, with a Final Fantasy game, you want to go somewhat blind into it, but I'm very much excited for FF16. I really hope that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be one of those Final Fantasy games that at least mostly unanimously everybody can go into it and have high praise for it, because I feel like as far as new numbered entries into Final Fantasy, We haven't had that in quite a while. FF15 wasn't that. FF13 certainly wasn't that. Final Fantasy 12, yes, if you go back and look at it now, it seems like most people think back of it fondly, but I remember when that game came out back in 2006, it had a little bit of a mixed reception. The Metacritic score is like really good, but from a fan perspective, I remember a lot of people did not like that game back then. Final Fantasy X, you know, I was super young when FF10 came out, but looking back at it, it seems like that was the game that a lot of people really, really enjoyed, and it seemed to be unanimously praised. At least, you can't have 100% of the people, especially with so many people giving opinions online. There's gonna be a couple people that are gonna have qualms with the game, and that's fine. You can have your opinion on the game, but you would want that a game would satisfy the majority of the consumer base, and I feel like with Final Fantasy, it's been a little bit inconsistent. I feel like with the FF7 remake, it did seem like the majority of people enjoyed that, but I'm talking about these new iterations that have dropped, because Final Fantasy 15, 13, 12 didn't really seem to be that, especially, you know, forget 12 for a second, especially in the case of 13 and 15. Man, those games were incredibly divisive, and especially we could say that about 13. But we'll see how it turns out. You know, I don't want to push the cart before the horse a little bit too much, but I have faith in Naoki Yoshida in dropping a high-quality product, and it seems like people are incredibly excited for this game. And the fact is, if Square Enix can drop FF16 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in the same year, oh my god, that would be one year to remember. Even if FF7 Rebirth comes early 24, that would still be, you know, pretty impressive to get those two games in like a 9-month window. I would be incredibly happy with that. Alright, a couple of other things since we spend so much time on Final Fantasy 16. Bright Memory Infinite is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch in 2022. Now, this is a first-person action game that has very, very fast-paced combat. Bright Memory Infinite is an all-new lightning-fast fusion of the FPS and action genres. Created by FYQD Studio, combine a wide variety of skills and abilities to unleash dazzling combo attacks. I played the prequel version, the smaller version of this game on PC, and yeah, visually it looks quite great. Gameplay is definitely super over the top, but I could easily see this being a game that would be right up a lot of people's alley. The game itself has a very positive reception with 26,000 reviews on PC. 92% of those reviews are positive, so relatively strong reception. $19.99 price point as well, so pretty well priced as far as that goes, and again, we should be seeing an official release in 2022 on consoles. Lastly, another game that'll be coming to PC before it drops on console, Scathe, a bullet hell first-person shooter, will be dropping August 31st for PC, but it will be coming in early 2023 for consoles as well. As far as what consoles it'll be hitting, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One. Scathe is an intense, blood-soaked first-person shooter where quick reflexes are the key to surviving the bullet hell labyrinth that stands between you and your ascension. Rip through the underworld's deadliest demons and collect the hellstones with drop-in, drop-out online co-op gameplay. Definitely, I mean, looking at this game, you're immediately gonna get some Doom vibes from it, but is that the worst thing in the world? Looks like a fast-paced, visceral first-person shooter, something right up my alley, and I think a lot of other people would be pretty excited for this one. Again, PC release August 31st, but a console release will be happening in early 2023, and that's gonna do it for me. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Like, am I overhyping FF16 a little bit? Maybe I am. I just really want a high-quality Final Fantasy title that I really enjoyed. And mind you, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 13. Like, yes, that was a super divisive game. I was definitely on the side where I really liked the game. Linearity be damned, I enjoyed Final Fantasy 13. Loved Final Fantasy 12. 15 is the one that I didn't really enjoy, and I really hope 16 gets the numbered entries back on track. Really hoping that's going to be the case, and from what I'm seeing, I'm really liking, but I also really liked a lot of what I saw 15 ahead of its release, but 15 had an arduous development cycle. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole again. Bright Memory Infinite coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch in 2022, and Scathe dropping August 31st on PC. The console release will have to wait a little bit. That'll be coming in early 23. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.